The first time I ever held a woman's hand in public, I started crying because I had never experienced public forms of affection with another woman before.
Three, two, one,
You're listening to Squeeze Limes, where truth stings, laughs heal, and nothing's off limits. I'm Tyler, the daughter.
I'm Robin, the mom. And if life gives you lemons,
We're squeezing limes instead.
so grab a seat, open your mind, and get ready to laugh or cry because we're not here to play nice.
We're here to get real. Hi, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Squeeze Limes. Today, we have actually some family members of ours. These are my cousins. We're
And my
so excited to have you.
nieces.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, hi. So we have Talia and Mikayla. They are a Chicago-based lesbian couple who have been together for 6 years and married for 2. Recently, they just moved back to Chicago after living in Arizona for 3 years. Talia works in sales and Mikayla is working on becoming a police officer. They both have been through many ups and downs over the years together, from family health to finishing college to moving across the country to their fertility journey. They have navigated through these challenges together and have interesting perspectives on it all. Welcome, you guys.
Hi. Thanks so
for
much.
having us.
Thanks for having us. We're
Thanks
so
for being
excited
here.
here. This is amazing, and what you guys are doing is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I think we're going to get started and jump into it right away.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
All right. Well, I guess the first thing to ask is, how did you guys meet? Let's hear about your love story.
Okay. So we met online, and I was in the North Shore of Chicago at the time, and she was a student at Illinois State University, and she was home in Plainfield for the weekend. So, like, our range on Tinder was close enough where we could match. So we matched and we talked, and it was great. And then we made plans to meet up. And I get really cute and I spend a lot of money on makeup and train rides and Ubers to get to the destination of where I was to meet her. And I'm like 20 minutes away from the destination, and she texted me and she was like, "I'm not coming." So I told her never to speak to me ever again. And somehow she found me on another dating app, because you can't just be on one
Wow.
dating app. You have to have options. And so she found me, and I gave her another shot, and here we are. To say that I thought that I would be married to her today, 6 years ago when that all happened, is wild.
Right,
I
I'm
thought it was
sure.
going to be like a fun thing
Yeah.
with a she was 21 at the time. I was 25.
Yeah.
It was just thought it was going to be
So,
fun.
so what made you realize that this was a lasting relationship?
For me, I think the first time that we met each other's family was when I realized that it was going to be long lasting. But also, even from meeting her until after, we saw each other every weekend. Like, she would come down to Illinois State, I would drive up. We just had the best time. But when I really knew was when my parents and my family met her and they just clicked.
We'll talk about the like what that day was. Because
Which part?
was it
When I met
Thanksgiving?
your family?
No, when I met yours. So, full disclosure, you think that we have a big family, Tyler and Auntie Robin. No, I've never seen so many people related in the same room. And so Michaela's preparing me for like our first.
Well, it was Christmas, and Christmas, like,
Oh,
throughout my
everybody
family
comes.
was a huge deal. Like, everyone, second aunt, second, everybody, cousins, third cousins, everyone comes. And so I was like very interested to see how she would be in that dynamic. And seeing you guys and Thanksgiving, I understood that like her family was just as close with each other as my family was. So I really wanted to see, like, hey, can I go mingle with my family while you go mingle with other people, and then we can, like, reconnect. Oh
Right.
my god, who'd you meet?" kind of thing, and, like, once that happened, I kinda, like, forgot she was there, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh." I was like, "Let me go find her." She's, like, on the couch talking to my aunts and uncles, and I'm like, "Okay, like,
Yeah,
this is
Yeah.
probably it for me."
I
that's
remember
nice. It's so nice.
feeling yeah, it was a really good feeling. I forgot you were there too, and I remember seeing you across the room being like,
Hey.
"So."
Like you're already like blended in. That's
Yeah,
so nice. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
such like a beautiful thing because I feel like in so many relationships, it's so important to have someone that's independent and can go like mesh with your family and talk on their own and not have to like hide behind you as you like introduce them to every single person. Like, I think that's a beautiful
Right, you're
thing
not
to,
babysitting. You're
Right.
literally you're a
Yeah.
chameleon, Talia, I know that. So I know you can just go anywhere and be anyone and that was never probably an issue, but I can only imagine that all these people you have to adapt to because this is your new girlfriend and
Right.
that's so intense. Yeah.
Right. And
Wow.
in any type of relationship, not just a same-sex one, like that's a very telling moment in a relationship is when you meet the family. And I really do believe in like strong first impressions. And I think you know right away when you gel with someone, when you start a new therapist, you kind of know how you will mesh. Like, I walked into her family's house and somebody I heard in the background was talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I was like, "Done. This is forever."
Wow.
I was like,
This is
"That's it."
forever.
Yeah. I was like,
Reality
"That's my
shows.
in." I was like, "That's my in." So I joined the conversation,
That's
and then
my
everything it spiraled from there. I just felt so comfortable. It was a really beautiful thing,
I think
truly.
it also is very telling when a family is super accepting as well, because I've never been with anybody, and I think you're the same, who's have had a family dynamic the same as yours
Oh,
that's as
yeah.
accepting
Oh,
as.
yeah, never,
And
ever.
so she can tell me how accepting her family is, but then, like, you're actually there and you're like, "Oh, yeah, they treat you like you're the
Right.
same
Yeah.
you're the same as everyone else." So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course.
absolutely. And was this like the first time? I know Talia, like in the past, you've dated boys. Was this the first time introducing a girlfriend to your family and Michaela vice versa?
1, 2,
Oh,
3.
wow.
No. No, fortunately, both of us came out at 18, 19, and we had girlfriends basically when we came out because it's always easier to come out and say, "Hey, I am gay and I'm dating I'm in love." So when we both came out, we were both dating someone, and so right away, both of our parents met those people, and
Mm,
so then every relationship that came after that was easy to introduce them. It was never
okay.
the first time it was scary because it was like, it's a girl, right? Like, I'm bringing home a girl. Are we gonna be allowed to sleep in the same bed? Or are the rules going to be the same as if I were to have a boy over? At my parents' house, of course.
Mm,
There's things that I was nervous, boundaries that I didn't wanna discuss, but super comfortable, and everyone was so accepting. No one ever made me feel less than, and no one ever made me feel like this was either a choice or that it was a phase.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
even think
beautiful.
that way, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
people do that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're just going through a phase, you'll, like, snap out of it," kinda thing?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Yeah, no.
Yeah, like, it's like a trend or it's like something to be different, and that is a case for some people. There are people who are trying to figure out their identity, but for me, that was not the case, and definitely for her.
Yeah. I actually came out as bisexual when I very first came out because I thought that it would be more accepting for my
No.
family, and
The merge.
yeah, after and also the first girl I dated had a gender neutral name, so I was actually scared to tell my dad at first, so my mom told my dad, and my mom said the girl's name, and my dad was like, "Oh, like, he seems great," and my mom was like, "Actually."
Right.
Yeah, I came out as bi, and then quickly realized that I was not bi, that I was in fact a lesbian, and then I told my mom, and she was like, I figured. I knew. The way that I saw you with boys was not the way that I saw you with girls, and she was like, I knew and whatever, so but yeah.
Good, good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you think about being a same-sex married couple, what parts of that identity feel most meaningful or empowering to you?
So this answer kind of spans across, like the answer varies based on what phase of life I've been in. In the beginning, the challenge for me was being able to do simple things like hold my partner's hand in public. The first time I ever held a woman's hand in public, I started crying because I had never experienced public forms of affection with another woman before. And that was, like, crazy to me because I was scared. It was coming fear, like, that somebody is we're in Chicago, we're walking down the street, we don't know anybody around us. Why would I be scared? But it's just, like, people who drive by in their car, what will they think? But now, that is not even a thought for me. I grab her hand and don't think twice about it. I think our challenge now is getting other people to see that we are as established as any straight couple. I think when people see two women together, they assume, like, oh, who's going to kill the bugs or who's going to fix the things
Or
Mhm.
they're just roommates.
or they're just roommates or
Wow. Okay.
they are just best friends or but that are friends with benefits. These luckily are not people who have said these things that are anyone close to us, but this is what is perceived.
Well, I think for me, I feel the most empowered just being like my authentic self. Like I always and I told Talia and whatever. When I like knew that I liked women, I like told myself that I was going to keep this secret forever because you don't know how people are going to react. Like they could tell you one thing and then it could be a completely different thing. Am I going to have to not talk to some of my family members anymore? Like all these things. So I think the most empowering thing for me is just living my life the way that like I wanted to live it when I first realized that I liked women
Mhm.
because I'm telling you right now, if I had to keep that lie up,
No,
yeah, girl, yeah, but yeah, that's the most probably empowering thing to me.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
see that. Yeah. Good.
Can you guys see me with a guy? Like, no. Ew.
I can't see you with anyone but Talia, really.
Right.
Right,
Or Talia with
exactly.
you. Feel like you've been together forever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels
Um,
Exactly.
so so how did it feel to stand in the moment when you said I do to each other, when you knew when you we all know that generations before us didn't always have that right.
it It felt amazing. The day of our wedding felt more like a celebration for everybody than just not just us. I remember our speech when we walked in at our reception that we both gave in front of everybody. And the theme of that whole speech was just thanking everybody in the room because had we not all evolved to a spot where we were all so accepting that you guys all showed up on a Wednesday randomly, a month out, whatever, we would not have been able to do that because just like she said, I also had the same fear. How am I ever going to come out? Okay, if I come out, how am I ever going to have a wedding? How am I
Mm,
going to have kids? And that all goes away when you have people in your life that don't see those challenges. They see, oh, it's love.
oh
You're
yeah,
going to make it work.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was so empowering, just honestly having people show up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like again, what she said, you can have people tell you how accepting they are, but it's their actions. I think everyone on this podcast knows what it's like for people to tell you one thing and then show up in a different way. That's disappointing. And
Mhm.
you really know who your true people are when you have to navigate these challenges, and we're so lucky. We really are. And you 2 are a huge part of that, just so thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
You
Thank
can
you.
never,
That
ever
was a beautiful day. It was unbelievable,
That was the
actually.
best day. And I
Yeah.
even remember in that speech you made, you were like, "I need a raise of hands. Who has been to a lesbian wedding before?" I thought
I
it was
did. I
hilarious.
wanted to start with a joke.
But it was like, I think that in itself was so empowering for those that did raise their hand and have been a part of something like this before. Like, it is showing our evolution of acceptance and love for everyone. And I thought that was just really a cool way to like say that and kind of put into everyone's minds, like, oh, yeah, this wasn't always accepted. Oh, yeah, like this wasn't always a thing. Like, how cool is it to be a part of someone's love story that wasn't accepted and now absolutely is? And
Yeah.
so, like, that I think for me was like a, oh, whoa, like that's cool to be a part of. And like, so happy that we can support you guys. And
Yeah.
truthfully, I just wish it was always accepted. And I think we'll get into that a little bit. But
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that was a fun
I
part of it.
I actually have a family member that older generational family member that always dated girls his whole life, and when he was in his 50s decided that he was going to move away, and my family didn't know why, and like his brothers and sisters didn't know why, and he basically let them know at the airport, like, "Hey, I'm gay, and I am dating somebody in Florida, and I'm going to go there, and we're gonna live our lives together." Um, but
That's
just for
amazing.
us to be, like, as young as we were, to get married and to love each other no matter if it's a boy or a girl is so telling because I had a family member that kept up a secret for their
50 years.
half of their lives, and it's
Mm,
because that they were scared of, they were an older generation, so back then it was not accepting, but
right, right,
even when they did come out, my family was like, "Oh my gosh, like, you should have told us this whole time,"
right,
you know?
right, right.
But, yeah, so it's,
The pain that he must have been in
I
all
know.
those years. I
Yeah.
have a similar story. I have a friend that um, I went to high school with, and it was like the most popular kid and gorgeous and always had girlfriends. And thank God after or during college, but I saw him then after college, like a few years later, and he came out, and I was like, thank God that,
Right.
because we've had friends that didn't make it because of sadness and overwhelming depression, unfortunately, because they couldn't or they didn't feel like they could, or if they did, they were shamed in a way that and not accepted. And I don't understand any of that. And it just makes me so upset, obviously. But I feel for your family member for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I feel like your generations are like the beginning of the break, and then everyone else that comes after is like, it doesn't like he, she, they, them, like doesn't matter. And I can feel
Yeah.
like it's completely accepted. And I really do. I feel like the kids that you're going to have are just that. Thank, thank goodness for that.
I think that we are so blessed to live where we live because that was my perspective on the current world prior to moving to Arizona. I don't know if I should say Arizona. Is the state gonna attack me? Like, but
No,
no.
I think you should
Now
say.
you should actually.
Okay. We
A
had
very
not.
red state.
Yeah,
Bear.
we moved to a very red state from a very blue state, and it was w we didn't s fill our time with people who expressed that view, but we experienced I don't how do you explain it? It's like people were super homophobic.
Yeah, I guess we weren't really expecting when we moved there for it to be as different as it was here, and I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like,
I think
what
it's shocking also, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you get more looks. You become friends with people that you realize have completely different views from yourself, and it's hard to like, and you have no family, so it's difficult to do that. And then I remember we were actually driving to Arizona. Do you remember that? We were driving, and on the radio it said something like
Oh my
it
gosh.
said something about
Yes.
like
We were in
what was it?
Flagstaff. We were driving through the mountains in Flagstaff, literally like an hour away from our new home. And the radio changed from like pop music to static. And then all of a sudden we get out of the mountains and the radio's back on and it's talk radio. And it's a guy saying, two men together, disgusting. Two women together,
Oh, wow.
disgusting. And
You're like,
what is it? I was
what
like, where
state
are
did we
we?
just move
Oh,
to?
So then
wow.
we
Wow.
pull into our complex with our U-Haul and everything, and it's a gated complex, and you need a code to get in. And there was a man in front of us in line to put in his code, and he got out of his car and he reached up to put in his code, and his shirt kind of raised a little bit, and we could see his gun on his hip.
Oh, oh, yeah, because it's isn't it
Because it's
concealed carry though?
Arizona.
I think.
Yes. No, no, no.
And that was
It's concealed carry.
Yeah.
yeah, but like you don't see that in the suburbs of Illinois. And it's
Well,
the first
Anywhere in
thing I
Illinois.
saw I saw it
I see
probably
it.
once a day in Arizona. So
Yeah.
it was just like it's a different place.
Yeah.
It's not our place. It's a beautiful place.
It's a great place to
Absolutely.
vacation.
Yeah. And they have
Yeah.
a
So then you realized shortly that you needed to not
yeah.
like live your married life there, or because
Yeah.
that's not why. That wasn't the reason why, right?
No, I think the main reason was family and our family members having children that we wanted to be close to, like how we were raised. And then um I think that did play a factor in it though, because when we were talking about like
Politics.
IVF and all of that stuff, we were
Mm,
concerned at one point with everything that's going on. So I think that was it played a little bit of a factor
I
into
would
moving
say
back
so,
here.
especially because you have to remember, like, the election was happening around the time we were prepping to move back, and what happens right around the election, for a year prior to it, you're prepping those candidates are prepping. So when you are constantly embossed in I'm just gonna
debates.
say it, Trump grossness, it's scary to go outside. Yeah. It
No,
is.
I did this.
Oh.
He
Zapping, like
doesn't know
good
what
for
that
you.
means.
Wait, what?
I
He
didn't
doesn't
do
know what
that.
that means.
This
I
is
know that means
do you know what this
oh,
means?
She
talking.
doesn't.
No,
No,
I'm
this is
snapping. Like good for you.
no, I
Like
know,
it's
I'm sure Okay,
what is it? What is this? Say it.
so the new thing is, like, instead of being like, "Yes,
Like
queen,"
period.
it's like, "Period, yes."
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm gonna
yeah,
do that. Now I'm supposed to keep up with that, you know. Cool.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Um, what were we talking about? Yeah, so it was gross every time we left our apartment. It was just like Trump era
Hmm.
everything, and
'Cause what year was this?
When we moved back last year in December was when we moved back.
the election took place in
Mm.
November, but for the year up to that, you know, they're
This
20
December coming up will be our 1 year back in
All
Chicago.
right. So you got married here 2 years
Yeah.
ago and then went back and then moved back. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So in 2020 was when Biden was elected, and then we were so excited, and we were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna be free!" And so we were like, "Let's move
You were.
anywhere. It won't matter anywhere because Biden's here for the next 4 years." And then, as at the 3 year point, Trump was running again, and it was just scary. He won in November of 2024. We moved in December of 2024, and he took office in January of 2025. So we got out of
Correct.
there as fast as possible. We knew we wanted to start our fertility journey. We knew that I have some, ovary issues that we didn't know what it was going to be like if we stayed there, how long it would take, the restrictions we would have. So yeah, that was also a big reason, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, we're
awesome.
so glad you're back.
Us too.
So
We're all
happy.
very glad we're back.
Have there been moments where your marriage has shifted perspectives, maybe with family, friends, or within your community?
Yes. So in the beginning of our relationship, I felt like it was more about being liked by people in our family and like impressing them and being able to merge and mesh well and kind of not be a problem. But I think as everybody I think on this call can agree that as
I meant the
time
same. No, I'm just
as time goes as time goes on, things start bubbling up. And there have been times where I'm not okay with things that maybe somebody has said or done. She's not okay with things that somebody has said and done. And we've had to come together and kind of figure out how are we going to navigate our differences with our family members and very, very close friends. How are we
Mm.
going to do that? Maintain
Differences in general, or s- what? Which perspective are you talking about?
not necessarily like the differences between Talia and I, but differences or like other opinions of like family members or friends, if that makes sense.
Right, meaning towards you, against you, as a
uh
couple.
okay, I see what you're asking. For us, we are always on the same page. Well, when we're not on the same page, we always get back on the same page, which I think is important. Like you can disagree, but as long as you come back together, that's great. We have really made boundaries in our relationship with other people because as you get older, you're an adult and you can say, "No, I don't agree with this. No, I don't I have a different opinion." So the challenge for us is having so many family members and friends that we're so close with that are all will all say how they feel and
They're outspoken,
they're
so to speak.
outspoken, yeah, and we have to kinda navigate, like, how are we gonna continue relationships with certain people if we have very different core beliefs, or if we feel like we're being disrespected or being stepped over, or talked down to, like, we have the power. Now we're together, we can say, "Hey, this isn't okay. Me and my
Yeah,
wife don't agree with this, and we don't want this energy around us," and setting
totally.
and it could be anything. It could be my mom saying something that I don't want to hear, or my dad getting on to me about not doing something, or
Right,
um,
anything. But it's
anything.
general, in general, right?
Right. Because there comes a point where you're a child, even though I was in a relationship with Michaela, once I became a wife, I think my role of child really diminished because now I don't call my dad when I have a problem. I call my wife.
That's beautiful. And I think that goes for all couples. I think that's so important. And I think maybe I was telling you, mom, that when you get married, that's kind of like the cutoff. Like you are now union, you're now one. That is your person. You don't really go to your, family anymore
Okay.
outside of your person.
But you did, but okay. Okay. So yes, you did say that the other day. And with respect, I'm still your mom. I'm still your aunt. Like that, you can come to me for anything.
For sure.
But of course, you're talking to your spouse about everything, and that's like
Right.
your person for
Mm.
sure.
Right.
And I get what you mean. Like you're a child, and you go to your parents because they're your people, and they're still always your people. They will always be in the background of support for you the most, right? But
Yeah.
then right. So then you get married and that's your union. So when I am coming from being a mom or an aunt, I, I talk to you all as couples. Like I know that there's not just one person in that I'm talking to, and
Mhm.
that because it's going to be relayed if you're not, if the other spouse isn't here. And so sometimes I'll just say like, to Tyler, like what, let me know what you and Johnny think, or let me know what Johnny thinks, just because I know that that's the next thing. It's not like she's answering. So I respect that fully. I think
Mhm.
is the most, I think you're right, Talia. It's the most important.
Yeah.
And
And
detach, it's detaching with love is what that is. And
it
parents need
is.
to do it. And mostly parents need to do it.
Right, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, and that's the hardest part, I think, which I can't even imagine because 'cause I'm not a parent yet, but, um, yeah, I can imagine that that's, like, one of the hardest things to do as a parent, as a mom, or as a dad, but yeah, I think we've realized that sometimes, when we take outsiders' perspectives into our marriage, it makes it a lot harder to deal with certain things that might be going on in our lives. So, but I always know that my parents are will always they're my yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I want to share like a situation that happened like a couple weeks ago. Michaela didn't pass something, which is super sad. It is, but she's gonna get it.
It's
But
hard.
before she called me and told me she had called her mom. And when I found that out, I was like, why would you call your mom before me? Like, we're married. This affects me. This affects where you may be working. Could be 6 months and I might not be
Mm,
pregnant. So it was like, for me, I was like, why did you call your mom first and not your wife? And so we
mm.
came together and we talked about it. And laid it out for her like, I always want to be your first call because you're always my first call. I don't ever call my parents first unless it's something I know you cannot help me with. Or I call you and I
Oh,
say, "Hey, this is what's going on. I'm going to call my dad for help. I'm just letting you know." But instead of to being like the second one to find out something of like a major life event, that's where I was like, let's get back on the same page because like I you obviously didn't call me for a reason. She thought I was gonna be disappointed or upset, or even angry, or I don't know what you could thought I was gonna feel, but that's like an example of how you kinda have to always be reminding and
on the
teach
same page, right?
and open communication.
Right. So, just a question. So, what if the scenario was, and I don't know what it was, it's not my business, but like, I'm just giving another perspective. What if the scenario was that, Talia, you were at work and you just weren't available emotionally to take a call if it was a phone call, let's say, right?
Yeah,
And then she has to say, because Michaela's feeling all these feelings and she just wants like to be supported, or she just needs to get it out. Wouldn't the next person be obviously her mom, right? I think you said you called your mom,
absolutely. If
right?
she could
So,
not get a hold of me, absolutely. But that particular day of us waiting for those results, my phone was on loud. I was
okay.
waiting. I was
Okay.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, like,
To be fair, I did text her first. She was the first text that I sent, and then I texted my mom, and then my mom called me, and then you told me to call you, and then I was like, I'm on the phone with my mom.
Okay. Right. So I
yeah,
guess for you, Talia, it just didn't feel so good because you should be the first
Like, it
call.
wasn't anything intentional that I like.
No,
right.
it actually happened in a very organic way, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is just like a reminder. Like at the end, the whole I had to wait another 15 minutes before I could get her on the phone because I knew she was heartbroken. I knew she was probably hysterically crying and that she was getting really down on herself because I know how she gets when she doesn't meet the standard that she set for herself. You work very, very hard and you set a standard, and when you don't meet it, you get down. And I knew you were driving along,
Oh,
that you were
okay.
probably really upset. So I was like, oh,
Getting upset.
yeah, like I just needed to hear that she's okay, that she's not about to drive into another state and I will never see her again.
No,
Like,
wow. I don't think you ever have to worry about that. But okay.
like
Okay.
disappear.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it just
So,
goes back to the point of when you get married, like your person is your person, you go to them first. And like obviously sometimes it doesn't happen that way and it's okay. Um, however, like you're always gonna have the support of your family members, of your parents, of your siblings, of your aunts, uncles,
Well,
like
that's the
whoever.
beauty of like, right,
But that's the
unconditional love.
beauty. that's the beauty of union. That's the beauty of getting married, is that then you rely on that person. And like you said, Michaela, like other people's opinions and insights affect your marriage. And really, you need to come together as a union, as a married couple, and discuss it for the two of you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So, so what do you wish people better understood about about same sex marriage?
That we are the same. There's really
Hallelujah.
woohoo. But truly, like, I feel like I don't know. It's just I have never seen people like us different. But there are people that do. And I just want like anybody who is maybe not fully accepting right now, or maybe they say things like, "Oh, I don't care if you're gay. I just wouldn't want that for myself," or think, anything like that where you're kind
Wow.
of half in, half out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I think too, which and I've told my mom about this, and Talia and I talk about it all the time, is that like I think I wish more people understood that we're constantly, like I mean, we've made huge strides and like acceptance and all of that, but we're constantly having to come out all the time. Like with new jobs, you don't know if you should say my wife or if you should just say my spouse, or if you meet a new person, a new friend, you have to come out to that person all over again. And I was
um,
talking to my mom about this too. And my mom
yeah,
was like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't even
I never
that."
thought that either.
yeah.
Because I mean, no one, you mean, you see me and Talia together, you don't assume they're lesbian. You don't look at two girls and assume, like in a group of people, I'm saying. And like,
mm,
especially like in
No,
the,
but I think that most people say like, "This is my wife, this is my husband, or my wife's at home, or I have to call my wife, or whatever it is." I hear that all the time.
It
right.
dep
And we do that too, but you're also,
it depends on the
it
audience.
depends on who it is.
So
So are you? God,
when I was interviewing at my current job, I did not say wife. Actually, in any interview for any job, this is like an internalized homophobic part of me, is that like I'm scared I won't get hired somewhere. If I need to make money and I'm interviewing for a job, I'm not going to disclose things that I feel like could hold me back and then just hope for the best later.
okay, so hold
Um,
on though. Hold on. Why is it anyone's business if you're going for a job for yourself because you're being hired, only you? What anything else I mean, why does it matter? Does it matter how many kids you have? Does it matter if you have a wife or a husband? Does
People
it
want to
matter
get
if
to know
you have a
you.
car or not?
I
They
think
here's
want to
the
get to know
thing.
you.
I
Here's
think
the
Mm,
thing.
with you introducing.
It
I don't think they're
should,
allowed to ask. They're allowed, it's like illegal, actually, to
not
No,
ask.
anymore.
not
No, no,
ask.
no.
More of like, tell us about yourself. And then you're like, oh, well, my wife and I moved to Arizona. But instead of
Right,
saying, oh, my
right.
wife, you say my spouse because you're nervous about how the whole wife part of it is going to be. Or like, for example, where I work now, oh, it's a family owned business. And I talk to a lot of people that know the family, and they're like, oh, are you so and so's wife? And I'm like, no, actually, like I'm married into the family. And they're like, oh, who's your husband? I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Well, we
yeah,
go with this. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
kinda like you're always constantly having to,
To come out. It
yeah,
is, it
Right. But
is.
I
Yeah.
feel like you said, Tal, I think it's like, that's maybe on you guys. Like if you were just like, I'm married, we've been married 2 years, my wife is, she works, so, like whatever it is you want to discuss, like if you just said it over and over and over again without explanation or defense or like, because then it proves when you keep on talking about it, it shows you're guilty of something, but you're not. So, right? Like just say,
I
just act as if like this is your life.
well, I think for, for the example that I just said, I think it's more of not I don't ever care about how people are gonna look at me, like,
Yeah, I don't care.
when I'm on the phone with, a customer or whatever, I'm worried about what
The
they're gonna think about the
business.
business.
Right.
If
So
Does that make any sense to you?
No, oh, it makes a lot of
They're like,
sense to
"Who's
me,
your
but I'm
husband?"
saying like,
It's my wife, but I'm not worried about, I
like
could care less if they look at me and they're like, "Oh, the person I'm talking to is gay." I worry about the effects that it's gonna have on the business.
Exactly. Like in Arizona, I worked for a company that did not say the nicest things about the Jewish community and would deny my requests off for Jewish holidays, even though I never took off for the Christian ones because we never really traveled home for the holidays, whatever. And so it's with them, I disclosed that I didn't disclose that I was Jewish up until I felt like I just didn't care what they thought anymore. It's everything to do with the business or with, like, I don't know,
Your
like
life.
when I was interviewing for a job, I needed a job more than I needed them to agree or disagree
Judge
on
you. Yeah.
my lifestyle. I literally am just here to work, like, but I just didn't want it to come out in my interview. It's the
Yeah.
same thing as, like, if you were pregnant and you were interviewing for a job, you probably wouldn't disclose that you're pregnant currently and that you're gonna need maternity leave in, like, 6 months or whatever. You'd probably disclose that up until you hit your 90 days, and then, "I'm gay, I'm pregnant, I'm a
Right,
fem."
right, right, right. But what I'm saying is if you guys continue to worry, then people will continue to maybe jump on that worry. If you're just not like living your authentic life, like I get that you have businesses to, I guess, uphold, but I don't know if you really do. Meaning be you.
There is that internalized homophobia that we clearly are both.
I wouldn't call it homophobia
No,
though.
I
But
no,
it is. You're,
yeah.
like, scared of being gay, like,
But I
that
think
there is that. It's not because I'm not scared of being gay. I'm not scared of other people knowing I'm gay. It's if I have a mission and I think that that could hinder that entire mission, and I
Right. It's
really
the
need to
thought.
complete the mission, so I'm just not gonna talk about it.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
Okay.
tell people that I'm Jewish. I'm not gonna tell people that I've, whatever I've been through in my past. Like, I'm gonna present the best version that I can market to
yeah,
anyone.
you don't wanna give anyone, like, any doubts in their mind, and
But the
unfortunately,
best version of you is that you're married to a woman.
Yes,
right,
it is,
it
but,
is.
there's
It's
people.
very hard.
It's hard, it's
Yeah,
icky,
I'm seeing
and
that. I'm hearing that.
yeah, it goes back and forth,
And
So
it's
like
what
not
is like
just
the
us,
one
it's
so
like
it's impossible that it's one wish that people would know that
yeah.
or
yeah,
like would gravitate to.
I wish
right,
I could, like, put you in my brain, like,
to
for a
make me
second so you, like, kind
could
of
understand better, but I think what I would want everyone to work on that could help our community is, like, when you meet a new person or if you're talking to anyone, I mean, this goes for doctors, this goes for therapists, anyone. When asking someone, don't say, "Hey, do you have a boyfriend?" Say, "Are you dating anyone?"
I do that all the time.
Right. Or, "Oh, you're married. What does your spouse do for a living?" And kind of let the person you're asking take control, because you never want to assume that a female is straight or a male is straight, and it makes them uncomfortable. You're like, "Oh, crap, I forgot that there's people out there that don't see things that way." It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you put us in positions where we have to then correct you, and it's just
Yeah.
getting tiring. It's
Yeah, I'm
like at
sorry
that
for that.
point,
Definitely.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's just easier to say, "Yeah, I am straight."
it's a really awkward thing.
No. You don't do that, do you?
No, no,
Okay.
no, no, no.
Good. You shouldn't.
No, but then
But
correct
I get it.
is, like, when you correct someone, like, "Oh, what does your husband do?" I'm like, "Well, actually, it's a wife," and then there's silence for a second because they're
You know
like,
what's so funny about that?
"Oh,
It's not
should I
funny, but
should I have said spouse?" Or, like,
Yeah,
in me saying wife, like, are they grossed out? Or did me saying wife, are they thinking of what question to ask next?
and it
Kind of
doesn't affect us,
yeah,
whatever they feel. It's just like we're wondering, like,
yeah.
"What are
yeah.
you
Right,
thinking
right.
about? Why did you
Right, but I
call
think
me?"
you're right. The silence comes in. It does come in. So weirdly, I brought my dog Tosh to the vet yesterday, and the vet assistant kept on saying, "Oh, she's beautiful," and and he said it so fast, like a few times, and I'm like, "It's a he," and and he stopped in his tracks, like it was just a mistake. That's it. But I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
not going to pretend. Like, so he has a pink collar, like whatever, like. But still, but I felt bad after corrected him. I didn't do it in a bad way. I'm like, it's Tasha's a boy. And he was just like silent and bright red. And I'm like, oh my God. So
That's how
I
we feel.
get, right,
Yeah.
right. That I get it. It's like
Yeah.
you feel for the person that just was like, oh my God, I just made a mistake.
Right.
Right.
Right. And there are times where instead of correcting him and saying Tasha's a boy, I would just say, yeah, she is so cute.
Well, after the doctor was
Because
going to
it's just
come
it's
in and like
lying.
lift him up, and he would have been like,
Right.
that's his penis,
Right.
right? So
Totally.
anyway, I get it. Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of like the things that really bother me. Just, I'm obviously like a straight woman, and I am so heavily like invested in the LGBTQ plus community, not only because I have family members in it and friends, but like we're all humans. And I think the thing that bothers me is that we have to have podcasts to talk about these things because not everyone freaking understands that this is just normal. These are just people that are living their lives and in love with whoever they're in love with, and that is a normal, healthy, beautiful thing for someone to live authentically. And so I feel like that is so shitty to hear that you guys have to come out to people over and over and over again through new jobs, through new friends, meeting people, at work. Like it's just this life of constantly teaching others and constantly having other people like informed. And that's not your job.
Right.
I think it's the job of all of us to be able to accept others, to be able to understand other people, to be able to learn and educate ourselves on other people and their experiences and perspectives rather than, oh, I don't agree with that. Like, I'm going to shut it out or not accept or not love or, whatever it is. Because I have that perspective of, like Talia, you were talking about, we're Jewish. And so when we're talking about Judaism and people who don't understand Judaism ask me to like educate them on something, and I'm like, why am I the like now Jewish expert just because I'm Jewish? Like, no, go educate yourself. Go look it up and like understand it.
Or read some
and
books. Yeah.
read some books, listen to whatever, and then you can educate yourself. But like, I'm not going to sit here and educate you just because you don't understand my life experience. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you
So
feel that way about
don't.
your orientation?
Oh, I do feel that way. Yes.
Well, I
About
feel like she informs me a lot of stuff.
me.
I think that's
Well-
different. I think that when you're, in a partnership and you're like,
Oh, not about religion. I'm talking about do you guys feel that you have to inform others about being in a same-sex marriage
No.
or a couple or whatever?
Just like Tyler said, that is not my responsibility.
Yeah.
Like
Totally not.
have never in the how old am I? Oh my God.
30.
Like
31.
13 years. I've been out for 13 years. In the 13 years, I've never sat somebody down and explained to them about why you should accept people and this is the history and this is the outlook and
Good.
my
Good.
experience. I have never done that.
I mean, no one's asked you, is what I'm saying.
No, people have asked me and I've
Interesting.
said I've never had it. And people are ignorant. It's easier for me to just say I didn't have a challenge. Didn't have any challenges coming out. Like it's easier for me to just say, "Oh, yeah, I had a very easy experience." Like I don't know why. It's just like people like that. I don't feel the need to like try to like sway your opinion or prove anything. Like I love that you said that, Tyler. That is not my job. That is not my job.
That's
If
what
you care enough, you'll do your own research. But like, I am not the gay icon.
right.
You know?
you're
Right.
just living your
Will
life.
say I do that with Judaism. So it's weird.
Mm.
Like There are some things I will. I love when people ask me about Judaism. I will
Mm.
give you the history all the way back, dating in the Torah. Why are we fighting? What is going on in the world? Like I downloaded all of that into her right when we met. And I love doing that with other people. I think I don't know why. I have no tolerance
Well,
for
you've
the
always been
homo-
passionate about Judaism anyways, so I think that plays a role in it.
Yeah, I do. I really like have a very deep like love and gratitude for the culture and the religion. Um,
I also love learning about it too. And I think, I don't know, like, because I know your husband is Catholic as well. I
Mhm.
was raised Catholic. And so, and I did not grow up in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood.
Mhm.
I grew up knowing actually no Jewish people.
Right.
The first Jewish person I met was college, and then shortly after I met Talia,
I
and
was
then
the second Jewish person she
all of
met.
these
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I told her all the time I love learning all of the things
Yeah,
about it. It's like one of my favorite things because
yeah,
I think everyone should be educated on all religions anyway,
right. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
truthfully.
and like the
it's so
point
different. It's all it's yes, I really like it.
yeah, the point wasn't necessarily like religion. It was just like my relation to like the connection of it's not your job to
yeah,
tell other people to educate themselves or to like share the knowledge unless of course you want to and that's like
right.
what you love.
Mhm.
But I think that like it's frustrating that we have to have books and TV shows and podcasts and all of these things, educating people because there are people that don't get this, that don't
Mhm.
understand, that don't
Well,
accept.
but
And
then that's the beauty of having all these outlets to learn.
Right,
right, I'm just saying, like, that's just a problem for me that we have to start this way of
Mm.
teaching others.
Mhm.
It's not just a baseline of acceptance like straight couples are accepted. Does that make
right.
sense?
The fact that we have a podcast episode surrounding same-sex couples is the whole thing,
Mhm.
right? It's
Mhm.
like,
Right.
Mhm.
are you gonna have a straight couple on and be like, "Tell us about your straight relationship and the journey that
Exactly.
took you," right? Like,
Exactly.
Mhm. Mhm.
it's like
Exactly.
two things. It's so appreciated. We appreciate it so much, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, maybe the world just isn't there yet. We're not there
You're
yet.
right.
Look
You're
at where
right.
we are now.
You're right.
Every state can get legally married right now. That's a beautiful thing
And also like, yeah, that's awesome.
Right
I
now,
think
right. That's just
right now.
right.
things like this, like when I was a little gay,
You
and
were a little gay.
when I was a little gay in high school, like a very new gay,
Yeah, yeah.
I would watch things like this, like YouTubes, and like
Mm.
there are like Rose and Rosie
And
and
Cammy and
Tammy and
Shannon,
Shannon,
there were
and like
icons for us.
yeah, and you watch this at when you're in your bed at nighttime, you watch it. And so now being able to be on one for a little gay like me, however many years ago, is really cool.
So cute. Yeah.
I
It's
think it is
so
cool because you're helping so many other people that will tune in, and that's like the beauty of I think what we're doing is trying to
mm,
just help other people
right.
Right.
and spread some news that is real and
Hmm.
not just our
Right.
perspectives is real. You're here. You're right there.
Mhm.
Right.
It's
So,
your world we're talking about. So I think that is actually an awesome thing.
Yeah.
So thank
so
you actually for being so open with us.
Thank you for
So,
everything you've asked. Seriously, it's an honor to be here. And we're so happy to share our story.
of course. And I want to play off of what Michaela you were talking about. What, now hopefully there's someone listening to this and seeing you in this light of, wow, those people are like me. What message do you have for them?
wow, that's a good question. I would say, I mean, just like what we've been talking about this whole time, be your authentic self, be who you want to be with, love who you want to love, the people that want to be in your life will be in your life and will support you. And just,
if the important people do leave, then they weren't meant to be there in the first place, and you will find your people. A lot of people right now are like, maybe they're thinking they're gay, but how are you going to come out because you don't know anybody else who is? You'll meet people. It will happen, and you will find your home. People will make it known if they support you in that, and you move from that.
yeah, I would just say, tell everybody who you are. Don't be ashamed of it. It's going to be hard. You're going to cry. You're going to worry. But I mean, it literally all works out in the end. Truly.
Truly. And it did
That's
for you.
beautiful.
Right.
So at Squeeze Limes, we talk about living, your juiciest life. What makes your marriage feel zesty, joyful, and full of love right now?
Well, something I love about both of us is like we're both kind of children at heart. And so we play, like we wrestle and we dance in front of each other and we sing to our cats and we talk in baby voice and
Not to
we,
each other, to our cats.
no, to each other. Yeah, we're outing each other. But yes, we talk in baby voice. That we are constantly laughing, and it makes like all of the hard times a little bit better because at the end of the day, I know how to, okay, let's be resilient. Let's get up. Let's hug it out. Let's sway. Let me sit on you and just hold you. Like
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of challenges coming our way. We're in a fertility journey. We're going to be hopefully buying a house in the next few years. Right now, we both don't have cars that are working. So,
Oh, no.
as long as we can laugh, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your zest.
Yeah.
That's your
That's our
limes.
set.
That's your squeeze. You're
Yeah.
being squeezed.
Like the other day, I just started charging at her. She was
Juice.
standing in the living room, and I was just charging at her and like throwing my body into her, and then we started making it into a game. Can I run and jump, and can she catch me? And so then we tried different various different things. Yeah, it was so fun. And then she dropped
You
me.
did.
So much fun. We
Like
had
dirty
just-
dancing, like
yeah,
in the air.
exactly. Yeah, we were turning a little bit.
It worked for
Love
like
that.
Oh my gosh,
So
we
it's like
love that.
little silly things.
I love
That's
that.
important. Yeah, I think
That's
so.
beautiful.
Thank
Always
you for
laugh
sharing that.
with your partner and enjoy all of life's moments, all of life's juiciest moments.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on. We loved hearing your story and what you have to share with the world. And, we hope others can take this and educate themselves and love and accept everyone for who they are.
Oh,
Right.
thank
So,
you.
thank
We
you
love
so
you.
much.
We
Thank
love you.
you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on another episode of Squeeze Limes. We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Thanks for hanging out with us.
Be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a good squeeze.
Of course, everybody needs one.
See you next time on Squeeze Limes.